Good morning, third graders. Ms. Wilson and I are going to be showing you what you need to do for your fluency intervention. Each set of partners are going to get 2 reading passages that look like this, 2 whiteboard markers, and 2 erasers. Your reading passages are going to have 3 main parts. The front part is going to be a phonics piece where you are going to have a phonics focus. For this one, it is the ah, k, u, and d sound. Sometimes it will be individual letters, sometimes it will be chunks. Then the second part, you'll be working on blending those phonics skills. On the back, you will have a sight words focus and then a reading passage. What's going to happen is that each partner is going to have the reading passage in front of them. One partner will be the student and one partner will be the teacher. You can use your tools to help you follow along. I am going to be the student first and Ms. Wilson is going to be the teacher. I'm going to start with my phonics piece. In the beginning, when you come in for intervention, your teacher will teach you what your phonics focus will be and what your sight word focus will be. I'm going to start with our phonics piece. Ready? A, k, u, b, I, h. A, g, b, d, d, k, f, h, u, a, k, n, u, d, n, b, I, g, b. All right, you'll notice that I made a couple of mistakes and then the teacher corrected me. Anytime when you get to a star, that's where you take a pause and you clap. Now it is Ms. Wilson's turn to be the student and I will be the teacher.
A, k, u, b, I, h. O,
A,
g, d, k, f, h, u, s, k, k, n, u, d, n, b, I, j,
g.
g, b.
Very good. You'll notice that I use my tools to help me keep track. As I was going through, notice how I was following along on my reading passage with Ms. Wilson. All right, so the next part you are going to do is do the blending part. There are 2 different ways that you can do this part. You'll notice that there are dots on the bottom. They work just like sound boxes when you worked on them in kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. For each sound, there's a dot, just like how there was each box for each sound. Down on the bottom, you'll notice that words are broken apart with the lines. Sometimes they're compound words or with word chunks. One way that you can read this word is to first sound it out and then blend the word. If it's a word that you think that you know and that you can read the whole word. I will go first and be the student, and then Ms. Wilson will be my teacher. T, ab, tab, big, big, can, not, not, dog, hot, hot, tim, lost, lost, glad, gad,
Glad,
glad, glad, log, hot dog, hot dog, cannot, cannot.
All right, now it's my turn. Ab, tab, big, big, can, not, og, dog. Not, not.
Ot, hot.
Ot, hot. Tim, lost, glad, log, hot dog, cannot.
Very good. Now we're going to go back to the other side and work on our sight words. The sight words for this one are because, are, and to. I will go first. Because, are, to, because, to, with, to, no, on, was, a, he, and, because, a, with, are, was, are, he, to, was, because, and, are, he. Now it's Ms. Wilson's turn to be the student.
Because, are, to, because, to, wit,
With,
to, on, was, a, he, and, because, a, with, are, was, are, he, to, was, because, and, are, he.
very good. Now for this last part, when you are doing the reading passage, each person is going to do it twice. You will take turns the first time, and the second time you're going to try to read it with more fluency. What that means is that you're reading it more smoothly and a little bit faster than before.
Please excuse the interruption. If you drive a blue Chevy SUV, you are blocking the fire lane.
All right, let's go ahead and read it. Tab is lost. Tim had a cat. Tim's cat was Tab. Tab was a big fat cat. Tim was glad he had Tab. Sam had a dog. Sam's dog Rags was a big fast dog. Tim is sad because Tab is lost. He cannot find Tab. Rags can find Tab. He finds Tab in a log. Tim and Sam are glad. Tim gives Rags a hot dog because he is glad. All right, one thing I forgot to mention, third graders, is that there are also going to be some different vocabulary words that will be along. They are starred along the side of the reading passage. For this one, the words for this one are find, finds, and gives. So pay attention to that. As you listen to the story, you'll also notice that many of the words that showed up either in your sight words or in your phonics lesson came up in your story.
All right, now it's my turn. Tab is lost. Tim had a cat. Tim's cat was Tab. Tab was a big, fat cat. Tim was glad he had Tab. Sam had a dog. Sam's dog Rags was a big, fast dog. Tim is sad because Tab is lost. He cannot find Tab. Rags can find Tab. He finds Tab in a log. Tim and Sam are glad. Tim gives Rags a hot dog because he is glad.
Very good. Now it is my second turn to read the reading passage. When I read it the second time I want to read it a lot smoother with more fluency. I want to sound more like a storyteller and not like a robot. Make it sound like you are actually talking. Tab is lost. Tim had a cat. Tim's cat was Tab. Tab was a big, fat cat. Tim was glad he had Tab. Sam had a dog. Sam's dog, Rags, was a big, fast dog. Tim is sad because Tab is lost. He cannot find Tab. Rags can find Tab. He finds Tab in a log. Tim and Sam are glad. Tim gives Rags a hot dog because he is glad.
Alright, so now it's my turn, and again, I'm going to be trying to read like a storyteller. Tim had a cat. Tim's cat was Tab. Tab was a big, fat cat. Tim was glad he had Tab. Sam had a dog. Sam's dog, Rags, was a big, fast dog. Tim is sad because Tab is lost. He cannot find Tab. Rags can find Tab. He finds Tab in a log. Tim and Sam are glad. Tim gives Rags a hot dog because he is glad.
All right. So third graders, when you are done with your reading passages, your job is to make sure that it is completely erased, and then you bring it back to your teacher. Sometimes you will just do one reading passage, sometimes you will do two reading passage. But if you notice, it took us a long time just to get through one sheet. We had to take turns and we had to listen. So if you see how long Ms. Wilson and I did, it should take you about the same time. It should not be very quick. So we might be asking you to do it again if you go through it too quick. Now, you can go and try doing your reading passage with your reading partner. Good luck and happy reading.